Are you ready to stop the self-sabotage and create the life you desire? Well, in order for that to happen, you need to break free from the bad beliefs that are holding your success hostage. You need to optimize the stress by turning it into extra energy for success. And those hurtful habits? Well, we need to give that pain a purpose for progress. Welcome to Stop the Self-Sabotage and Create the Life You Desire podcast. What do you think of whenever I say you need to add something to your to-do list? Ugh! I don't know about you, but I'm like, are you kidding me? That to-do list is already way too long and we need to add something else to it? Don't think so. But what if we were to change that to a ta-da list? Whenever I think of the words ta-da, I always see a gymnast in my mind who just went through an incredibly difficult yet beautiful routine and nails it. She sticks the landing. Why is it important how we categorize and label the things that we're going to do in life? Because our powerful mind, known as the subconscious, runs everything based on emotion. And it goes by the law of like creates like. So if you've got a to-do emotion of how much more do I have to go through? Well, then the subconscious mind is going to find everything in your environment to pile on top of you and go, how much do you have to go through? So let's turn it into a ta-da for September, because September is a change in the seasons wherever you're coming from. Shout out to my folks in Canada, Australia, or over in the UK across the pond, as well as in the US. So September is a gateway season. What does that mean as far as you creating the life that you want to live, turning your desires into reality? Well, the subconscious mind always looks to harmonize our external experience with what we've got going on internally. And for most people, they're taught, well, it starts on the outside first and then it moves inside. And that's really not how it goes. It's from the inside to the outside, but the outside still has a determining factor on how we're going to perceive things. And we're in a gateway right now. So the subconscious says, what else do you want to move into? There's a shift taking place. Shift happens. There's a shift taking place. So what is it that we want to shift internally to match those external changes? That's what I want to share with you today. Your to-do list for September success. Let's look at what we're covering today. How to stop the self-sabotage in your life, what's your family's legacy, emotional optimization. Let me go back to your family's legacy. You got to give your pain a purpose. Pain isn't going to go away, so you got to use it to upgrade your life. Emotional optimization simply means that the fear is never going to go away. You have to discover how to actually have that fear turn you on at your very best. Then what I call your trinity for success: self-confidence, self-esteem, self-worth. This is what makes up your identity, the trauma triangle. And then from there, how to move to mediocrity into magnificence. Who am I to share all of this with you? Dawn Ferguson, certified hypnotist. I teach you not what to think. I teach you how to think. I teach you how to reveal the real you by first mastering your mind, then optimizing your emotions, and then implementation, the right actions at the right time for the right results. Because you can take actions and they can be at the right actions, but if they're at the wrong time, you're not going to get the benefit or the payoff, the reward like what you want. I'm a certified instructor. I train others to do this, whether you're already in a professional field, nurses, doctors, therapists, coaches, or if you're starting out like I was, a layperson, and you're going, you know what? I just have a passion for assisting others to be their very best. And I'm also a rapid results coach, which means that this shouldn't take weeks. It shouldn't take months. It shouldn't take years. You should be able to experience results starting the very first day. Okay. You know what? You don't care about those initials behind my name. I actually have to earn the right to be in your life. So let's do that. Let's move into stop the self-sabotage. That is the very first thing that should be on your to-do list for your September success, is stopping the self-sabotage and then moving into the second portion of it on create the life you desire. Now, there are 4 steps to this: reveal, release, relearn, rejoice. I want to touch on the first one today, reveal. The reason why you continue to sabotage yourself is that there was something created known as an imprint. An imprint is an experience that you went through when you were younger. In fact, 80% of who we are as an adult was learned by age 8, not based on our brilliance, but based on what others needed us to be for them to be okay. All right. So an imprint is an intense emotional experience. You can go through it just once if it was intense enough, or maybe it was something known as spaced repetition, where it happened again and again. But it then conditioned your mind to experience the world in a certain way. It conditioned your subconscious, which runs all of your habits and patterns. And all of your habits and patterns are based on either avoidance, how do I get away from pain, or amplification, how do I use this to actually bring myself out at my best. They're amplifying progress. Notice how I didn't say positive. Positive mindset is a myth. It is not sustainable, but progress is, because progress says you have to use your whole identity. Everything you've ever been through in life, you have to use it now to put together the picture of who you really are. But stop the self-sabotage. Let's go back to that. So this younger you was conditioned through an intense emotional experience that then created an imprint. And now your powerful mind will continue to seek out the people, places, and things to reinforce that original imprint. Can you see why sometimes life can be a real challenge? Because your mind thinks it's doing what it's supposed to, which is looking for problems. No. So what we have to do is we have to reach out to that younger you. And we have to free them from the burden of doing this, because at whatever age you were, whenever you accepted this imprint that would then create sabotage later on in your life, that part of your identity is still with you. It is an area I specialize in. It's known as parts therapy for inner conflict resolution. I'm not talking about multiple personalities. What I'm talking about is multiple aspects of who you are. You're one person whenever you're hanging out with your friends. You're another person when it's time to spend an experience with the family around the holidays. Maybe that's good. Maybe that's bad. I don't know. Okay. So different aspects of your personality come out. You have a challenge when the wrong aspect is coming out at the wrong time. So to stop the self-sabotage, you need to free that younger part of you from trying to operate in an adult world, and instead give it permission to do what it's always supposed to do, which is bring energy and joy and vitality and love. I mean, think about the things that kids are great at. That's what this part of you is supposed to be doing. But until you free it from the adult responsibilities that it accepted, so it could fit in based on what someone else needed you to be, you're never going to stop the sabotage. It is going to happen again and again. This is the very first step. And it's happening because your powerful mind thinks that this is what you're supposed to be doing. By the way, I already noticed I got a comment. Somebody's really enjoying this. If you have any questions on what I'm sharing with you during our very condensed time together today, then let me know. Give me a shout out down below on the questions. Okay, so let's see. So that's the very first step. Stop the self-sabotage. Ooh, this is the reason why I have banners down at the bottom to keep me organized. There's something I want to share with you. you can win a $100 gift certificate that you can use to work with me or towards any of my products, programs, or courses. This is what I want you to do. I want you to give me a shout out below with hashtag September Success, and then give me your takeaway from today. And I'll announce the winner at the beginning of October. So, to win a $100 gift certificate with me. And every time I am coming live with you, I do it on Mondays and I do it on Wednesdays. You can give me a hashtag September Success. I'll get it out, right? And you'll be able to have additional entries in the drawing. How wonderful is that? Okay, so now I need to hide that. Now we need to go to number 2. Your family's legacy. This is the second step on your to-do list for your September success. The best way I can frame this is you've got to give your pain a purpose. You've been through some challenges in your life, and those challenges can either have you as low as you can get, and believe me, I know how low that is. You can either get as low as you can get, or you can use it as stepping stones for your level of leadership. Everybody is supposed to be leading in some area of their life. And I always look at the 5 to thrive. The 5 to thrive starts off with wealth. Not because money is the most important thing, but because it touches everything that is the most important thing in your life. So maybe that's your area, is being able to have enough funds not only to take care of yourself, but to donate to different programs that can assist other people. You broaden your reach. Maybe it's in your health. So on the 5 to thrive, that's the second one. Maybe you're supposed to be modeling for others how to be fit, no matter what your age. My gosh, I'm going to be 58, casting a hard shadow on 60 here, folks. And couple of months? Yeah, 2 months. And I feel like I am in the best condition of my entire life. So, but you know what? Growing up, I was told, when we go back to that imprint, I was told on a daily basis how ugly I was, how I would never fit in. I have a sister who experienced the same situation, that had so much plastic surgery done. I hadn't seen her for a few years. And when I met up with her again, I didn't even recognize her. She chose nothing wrong with better living through chemistry. Okay. She chose that route. I chose to accept who I was. So when I'm talking health, I'm talking physical fitness, but I'm talking about your mental health. I'm talking about your emotional health. Are you there to model for others? It doesn't matter what's happened. You can use it. Then after that, you've got relationships on the 5 to thrive. So relationships are, again, where you're modeling how to love, how to engage. Maybe at some point you had to put walls up around you because you were so hurt. Well, those walls don't keep the pain out. They create a pit or a well where others continue to dump their crud in on top of you. You've got to take those walls down so you can then move into progress. But every brick in that wall, I feel like Pink Floyd, every brick in that wall is actually going to build the steps to your next level of success. All right, then after that, you're going to have career. Now, maybe you're working for somebody else, maybe you're working for yourself, but you're going to show others. If this is your calling, your level of leadership, you're going to show others how to do it. Because there are so many people are trained as employees. A few are trained as managers, and a manager is nothing but somebody who tries to manage the emotions of others. And this is the reason why it's so hard, because it's not sustainable. But then we have the leaders. The leaders live their legacy, not by what they say, but by what they do. So maybe you're supposed to be doing that for the people that are around you right now. And then the very last one on the 5 to Thrive is what's known as untapped potential. You're going into a new season. I said at the beginning, you're in a gateway. And so your subconscious mind, your powerful mind is saying there's a shift in the seasons. What else can we shift? Now, you're either going to shift it down or you're going to shift it up, because the subconscious does not maintain. It always looks to accelerate whatever direction it's going, which means if you're heading in the direction of pain and continuing your family's legacy of hurt and betrayal and trauma, I'll talk about trauma in just a moment, then the subconscious goes, okay, well, let me see how I can accelerate it. Oh, no. So think of it like this. Let's say that there's a horse running full blast towards a cliff, and all of a sudden you're dropped on that horse. Me, not without my bike helmet. I'm the one on trail rides that's always right behind the guide with the bike helmet on, going, I don't like doing this, but my other girlfriend likes doing it because her relationship is important to me. I engage with it. Okay, so you're dropped onto the horse running full blast. If you try to pull back on the reins, you know what's going to happen? Not a freaking thing. You're going to go over that cliff. The horse is built up too much speed. There's too much horsepower behind it. But what if you crank the reins really hard over to just one side? You're going to be able to scrub off just a little bit of speed and then be able to turn that horse with all the power behind it to where now it's running parallel with the cliff. You don't have to go over. And now you can crank it again and start going back the other direction. So we don't look at trying to stop the direction you're going. We give it a new purpose. This is your family's legacy, and how you pass it on is you've got to give the pain a purpose. All right. Then after that, we go into number 3, emotional optimization, because at this point, you are going to have the itty bitty shitty committee show up that tells you, oh, you can't do this. Who do you think you are? You've tried in the past. But if you go back to the very first step with Stop the Self-Sabotage, when we discussed those are actually younger parts of your personality. Then we see the itty bitty shitty committee not so much as someone that's out to get you, but actually a group of the younger experiences, the younger yous, and they're testing you. They're going, I don't think you can do it. Because they couldn't do it. They're not telling you you can't. They're going, please prove to us. Please show us that you're going to be able to take care of us. Please no longer tell us that we don't have a place in life. Please show us that we can trust an adult. Because they couldn't trust the people in authority around them as you were maturing. So these different aspects that are coming out are simply going, are you adult enough now to begin to handle life, or are you going to activate that younger you and put it in an authority position that it was never meant to be in? The fear is not going to stop. If you think about first responders, whether it's paramedics, fire, police, they're running into a situation the rest of us are running away from. Why? Is it because they have something special that the rest of us do not? Well, yeah, they do. They've learned to take those adrenaline hits and then turn them into extra energy for success. I always say, take the stress and turn it into extra energy for success, because they have an upgraded identity that the rest of us do not. So the emotional optimization simply means whatever shows up in your life, you're going to use it. You're going to find a way for it to turn you on at your very best. For a couple of decades, I dealt with a health condition, where my adrenals were turned on 24/7. It was known as carotid body tumors. And so I know what it's like to wake up every single morning already being on the edge, going, flip, what's going to happen today? Because of the adrenaline and cortisol that was running through my system all the time. Because that's how those tumors grew, is by turning on my adrenals. But then I learned to turn it around and wake up in the morning and go, flip, what's going to happen today? Let's use this. And the more I used it, the more my health condition began to fade. Okay. So emotional optimization. Hey, remember, fear is always going to be there. The itty bitty shitty committee is always going to be there. It's challenging you. How are you going to use this? And just as a reminder, if you want to win a $100 gift certificate with me, this drawing is going to go on. This contest is going to go on all month. If what I'm saying makes sense to you, then give me hashtag September Success below and your takeaway from today, and you'll be entered in that drawing. Now let's move into what I call the Trinity that will take you to the top. And that is self-confidence, self-esteem, self-worth. See, you have an identity, and you must do an identity upgrade for success to be sustainable. Most people only try to take care of things in the physical realm, which is the reason why, if you're trying to let go of weight, diets and exercise are not sustainable. That they are only one part of what you're going after, because they're the physical realm. We also have the emotional, and we also have the mental. You have to do all three. So self-confidence. Self-confidence is in the physical realm. People reach out to me and say, I have a challenge with public speaking. No, you have a challenge with self-confidence. I have a challenge with drawing boundaries. No, you have a challenge with self-confidence. And the reason why you're having a challenge with self-confidence is because when the fear challenges you, you shut down. You say, nope, not today. And when you do that, when the executive functioning center, which is the other part of your powerful mind, but it's the smallest piece, when the executive functioning center shuts down, then the subconscious, which runs all of your habits and patterns, it has to take over. And how does it take over? With the younger you that received the original imprint. We talked about this in step 1, with the younger you that received the original imprint, and now that child has to show up trying to handle the adult responsibilities. This is the reason why confidence is such a challenge, because the adult you's checking out and the kid's going, couldn't handle it then, not going to be able to do a whole lot to handle it now. You need to look at that challenge and saying, I'm taking you on. I'm going to do this. When people reach out to me on consults, by the way, if you think that I might be the one that can assist you, you can claim a no-charge consult with me by texting consult Dawn to 636-699-7791. Again, that's consult Dawn to 636-699-7791. Okay. Or you can go to canhypnosishelpyou.com and take a look at what hypnosis is and is not, and then set a consult. It might be with me. It might be with one of my associates. Okay. So sometimes I'll talk to someone on a consult and I'm not sure that I'm the right fit for them. So I'll give them some sort of action I want them to take. If they follow through, then excellent. If they do not, I know that I cannot assist them if they won't even take the simple steps on their self-confidence, because now they're stuck on the trauma triangle that we'll get to in just a little bit. They're stuck on the trauma triangle looking for a hero to their being a victim. It's not going to work. Self-confidence. that fear is going to show up, the itty bitty shitty committee is going to show up, and you have to say, I'm going to find a way to actually use this for my benefit. Self-esteem. Self-esteem is the way that you feel about yourself. Now, you feel about yourself going in two directions. It's going to be the top down from the mental level of your beliefs, but it's also going to be from the bottom up, the actions that you're taking. Here's where it gets interesting. For you to have an identity upgrade, an identity upgrade takes 91 days. You can utilize hypnosis to be able to get to the top faster, quicker, and easier, but it still needs to be 91 days of you following through. So it's going to be 91 days of consistent action to build the self-confidence before you felt like you've earned the right to feel better about yourself. People say all the time, I don't feel worthy. Yeah, well, that's based on your beliefs. And a belief after age 13 can only be upgraded through consistent action. And if you're not taking the consistent action, you haven't earned the right to have a new belief. And people are going, earn the right. Well, I might feel like I can never earn enough. Okay. Yeah, you can never earn enough is actually really good because it forces you to keep putting yourself out there. It forces you to continue to find the next level of growth. Okay, then we have self-worth. Self-worth is based on the beliefs that you have on what you can accomplish. 80% of those beliefs were accepted by age 8. So you can either continue to value yourself based on what others believed you could do, and then you will attract in the people, places, and things to reinforce that, because we attract what we are, not what we want. So either that, or you make a commitment that between now and the end of the year, you're doing this. You got it. You own this. Okay, so let's go into the trauma triangle. Trauma triangle. There's 3 pieces on it. There's the victim, but to be a victim, there needs to be a bully. And for the victim to be okay, there needs to be a hero. The idea is to get yourself off the trauma triangle. Because as a victim, you don't like to be told what to do. And your hero is going to come in and they're going to make it all better for you. And then at some point you will begin to resent them because they will continue to tell you what it is you're supposed to be doing with your life. And then as a victim, you will wind up turning them into the bully. Not a good place to be. By the way, for all of those who like to play heroes, you like to play the savior because that's what you were conditioned and trained to do. Yeah, you know what happened to the last major savior? They nailed him to a cross. Same thing is going to happen to you if you try to play savior with someone. So you have to get yourself off of the trauma triangle by understanding you play all of those roles. Because if you've been a victim and you've also been a savior, you will at some point play a bully and try to force people into doing what you think they should be doing with their lives. So when you're on the trauma triangle, you actually fulfill all the roles. So we know you have 3 wounded pieces to yourself from when you were younger. Maybe one's a child, one's a teenager, maybe one's an adult. But those wounds will continue to be activated until you decide to take ownership that it's okay to be wounded, because you're going to find a way to make it work for you. Okay. And then lastly, from mediocrity to magnificence. You got to quit settling. You've got to go from, well, this is okay, to, you know what? No, I'm no longer going to tolerate this. think of it like this. So, I don't know if this is true. I've never done it. I only heard this story. Let's say that we take a frog and we we dump it into a pot of boiling water. It's like, what? And jumps out immediately. Now let's say that we take a frog and they're cold-blooded, right? So they like things that can warm them up. Let's take a frog that was cold and we put it into a warm pot of water and we turn the burner on high. And the frog's just hanging out, enjoying the warmth until it's too late and it's just boiled to death. Same thing has happened with all of us. It's known as the human condition. We've gone into an experience that seemed to be okay. The heat got turned on and we didn't realize that we kept giving pieces of ourselves away, settling and going, well, maybe it'll get better. Maybe it'll be all right. Maybe, no. At some point, you're going to feel like you're left bare to the bone because there's nothing else there that can assist you because you gradually settled. That's no longer an option, not in my world. You have a unique brilliance about you. It's how you're supposed to lead in life. It is that inner light that is supposed to be turned on even brighter. But to be able to do that, you have got to quit accepting situations that require you to dim down your brilliance. But before you can do that, you need to go through the previous 5 steps. And what are those again? Those were, you've got to stop the self-sabotage. You've got to give your pain a purpose through your family's legacy. Emotional optimization. You have got to take that fear and turn it into extra energy for higher levels of success. Then you can work on taking the consistent actions to build the confidence, which is going to increase the esteem, which is going to give you an upgraded belief of what your worth and value is. Then the trauma triangle will no longer be calling out to you, and life can be so much better than where you are right now. The world gets better when you get better. Okay. Can I assist you with this? Well, I've already told you how you can reach out to me. But I'm going to recommend that you go to drewdawnferguson.com/WFW. Stands for Wealth from Within. You're going to see a course there that put together my almost 20 years of knowledge in the industry of assisting others to be their very best, and put it together in a package, in a system that you can work through at your own pace to assist you with all of this. You even have the option of having a hypnosis session with me in the month of September, and I'll gift you that course at no charge, an extra to continue your success. I'll get it out. To continue your success, to make it sustainable. You've got to go from one-hit wonders into revealing who you really are. Okay, so your to-do list for your September success. You now have it. What are you going to do to begin to reveal you at who you really are? What's the first step? Stop the self-sabotage. If I can assist you with this, I would be honoring and making the world a better place because you'll be better. All right. Make sure you give me your hashtag September success with your takeaway to be put in the drawing. The winners will be announced the beginning of October. I look forward to the world being brighter because you're brighter. Bye now.